As you see, the front bumper is wrapped behind me, but I'm about to show you exactly how I did it. And don't ask me how I did it, I just did it. It was hard. Before we get started, let's look at what's in my apron. These are my squeegees. They're magnetic, so they actually stick to the car. I still manage to like put them in weird places and lose them every 10 seconds. My razor blade, simple, cheap. Make sure that you've got a sharp blade every single time you use it. This is the glove. If this is ever at a crime scene, it wasn't me. It's my magic glove. And then these are my wrap axes and my little pushy thing that I use to get corners. A pin, just never know. I've got allergies. I need it. It's my tissue. Don't judge. That's it. I didn't have a measuring stick long enough to measure the bumper, so I used tape. I wrapped the tape around it, and then I took the tape to the wrap, and then I laid the wrap out. I put the tape on top, and the rest is history. It's a very, very long piece, but after you cut it, you can separate it into two. So the shorter piece for the bottom spoiler, and I'm saving the upper, taller piece for the upper part of the front bumper. This method is great when you don't have a partner to stretch it, so I cut it right down the middle and I leave the paper on one side. And then I slowly pull the paper off one side and I do a little squeegee, and yeah, just work my way to the other side of the bumper. Now keep in mind, I sanded the bumper, I cleaned the bumper, I sanded the bumper, I sprayed a clear coat on the bumper in hopes that the wrap would stick well, and it did. It really did stick to this aftermarket spoiler or lower lip. Coming up on these corners, there's this deep recess in the front lip on the side, like by the side skirt area and the front fenders. I knew it was going to be a challenge, so I have a trick for it. I ain't saying that it's pretty. Don't look too closely. It's ugly. Keep it a secret. So this is my trick for getting the wrap to stick in those hard to stick places. I used an adhesive. It's a 3M product. It's an adhesive. It's a spray adhesive, and it is a mess. Oh my god, it's a mess. It gets all over your hands, and once it gets on, it doesn't leave. Thankfully, the wrap has that coating on it, so if it gets on the face of the wrap, it's not a big deal because the coating's going to take it right off, that cap. Getting in these creases wasn't difficult. Cutting it not too short was the hard part. You know, it is a aftermarket spoiler, lip, front, bottom, lip, ground effects, whatever you want to call it. It is not the original, so there is a slight gap. I did my best to remedy all the fitment issues, but alas, this is as good as I could get it, and it was hard. It was really hard. And I've seen other Camaros and they also have that little, you know, gap right there in the front. You know, shoot me. where I spray the ever-living daylights out of this, especially on the bottom where it's underneath the car. I go hog diggity dog wild with this stuff, and at the end of the day it worked. And it wasn't a lot of like texture underneath too. You couldn't see it. And if you're looking that closely at my front lip spoiler, shame on you. Shame on you. Okay, this is where the magic happens. See that ugly little inset right there? This is where all the pain and suffering hides, in these little holes right here. But I have a plan. You're about to see that plan in action. I whip out my old pattern making skills and I pull out some shop towels and a Sharpie, and I get to work, and some tape. So I make a little pattern, cut a little bit, and shape it basically so it fits in as nice as possible. Once I have my pattern all set up, I go ahead and I lay it down on my wrap, and I cut 2 pieces, 1 for each side, because I'm thinking with my brain today. And yeah, the rest is history. Check it out. Make sure that you finger the I finger it. I really do. I finger it. I heat it and I finger it. I push my fingers in there and I make sure that it's sticking good. Kind of felt interesting, but I made sure that it stuck, as you can see. Let's get up close and personal with this little area. Okay, you can see, you know, the extra panel that I've laid on. The outside, or the place by the fender well. There it is. You know, it's as good as I could get it. Very daring, because I'm trying to tackle both the lower part and the top part of the bumper all in the same day. Now, obviously with those giant, you know, I forget what they're called, that the nose where the lights go, you know, that area, it's like a step. Anyways, right here in my video, that area I'm going to wrap it with a an inlay, so I'm just knifeless taping off so I can have a nice clean cut. That the smart part of my brain was telling me that I need to still do it in another piece towards the top where like the emblem is, and then the stubborn part of my brain said, no, 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 don't be silly, you can do it, you, oh my gosh, you're a pro now. So I made the attempt, And unfortunately, you know, it was going actually really good. I get the sides done. But as I pulled the wrap off to reposition it at the upper area, it pulled some of the paint off. So it left like this kind of a crater mark, and to wrap over it you could see the indentation. So there was really nothing I could do but add some filler, let it dry, you know, sand it. So I leave a portion of it for next time, but I get the majority done right now. I was kind of upset at the time, but what can you do, right? I consider the job a win, really. You know, at the end of any job, if your car still starts, that's a win. So I had to do a little bit of Bondo repair. Well, not Bondo, but some filler on the front. When I was trying to wrap the bumper in one piece, it didn't work out. So when I removed the top portion up here, it took off some of the primer that had been applied to the bumper. Anyways, sanded it down, I added some new primer, but you could still see the indentation of where it peeled up, so there was nothing left to do. I have to just smooth it over a little bit, wait for it to dry. It's fine, like, stuff happens, it's okay. I stop here, take a break, and I'm trying to decide if I am going to put in black wrap where the headlights are and make it look more like an IROC, or just keep it all one color and do that really pretty candy red. Everyone reached out to me on social media and said do black, but I don't know, you know, it's hard. It's a hard choice. We'll see which one I end up doing, but you know, keep in mind it's not a real IROC. Even though I put an IROC grill in it, which you'll see, and IROC fog lights, it is an RS, and no, it's not a 6-cylinder RS. So do not leave comments telling me that it's a loser 6-cylinder RS. It is a V8, and it's not even the original motor. So many people are like, oh, an RS, they only came in 6-cylinder. Well, no, I was there when this was bought in 1991. It was purchased as a V8. It's a manual 5-speed, and then later on the motor was swapped out, so it doesn't even have the original motor in it. So anyways, this is my baby. It's coming to life. Thank you so much for watching. Alright, see you next time.